Today's teacher, it seems, is Bodhi. He'll be taking over the role for me today. He seems to always need to be in and around when things are moved. He's a bit of a creature of habit, and his tree is normally right here that he sleeps on. And so when that's moved and some extra items around here, he does seem to need to scope it out for a bit. Well, if you haven't been here before, my name is George and welcome to Serenity in Sitting. Today's video is just going to be a little informational clip on how to build a meditation practice that actually sticks. Sitting down to meditate is often the hardest part of the practice. We come up with so many different excuses for why we can't meditate right now. We're not in the right headspace, we don't have enough time, there's other things you'd rather be doing, or honestly, the excuses are endless. It's really just your brain coming up with these sorts of excuses to, convince you not to practice. This is why discipline is probably the most favorable trait to have when it comes to developing a meditation practice. But that's not to say that if you aren't a very disciplined person, you can't build a consistent routine. I've been fortunate in life to be blessed with a relatively disciplined attitude to things. So I think that's why I was able to take to the practice so strongly. But I have numerous friends who have a regular routine and aren't a very disciplined person. Some of the little tips and tricks that I like to use to really convince me to practice when I don't feel like it is by getting a cushion and putting it on the floor next to your bed. I find this is a really good way for it to be the first thing that I see when I wake up and the first thing I do. It's really good to not go on your phone in the morning before you meditate, because that can only create more thoughts, more feelings towards things that will just come up in your practice, instead of naturally waking up and feeling that in your practice. So when you get up, you'll see the cushion on the floor and you can just immediately move there. Maybe go on your phone to set the timer or put on a guided meditation of your choosing, but at least that's the first thing you're getting to. Another tip is to actually start the meditation on your phone if you're doing a guided or a timer before making it to the cushion. I find for me, if I just am really feeling some aversion to it and I'll just whip it up on my phone and just click start, and then it's begun. And if I miss the first 30 seconds by finding my posture, then that's okay. At least I've gotten there. That can help with that initial hurdle and that aversion, as I said, to actually starting the practice, so that can be good. Another is to use apps that count your consistency and the amount you're meditating. So for me, I use apps like Waking Up, and that gives you a total amount of days you've meditated for, and actually a total amount of time that you've meditated for. I don't know why, but as humans, we seem to like progression and statistics on potentially helpful, healthy habits. People use scales for their weight. They use weights for how much they're progressing in the gym. This can be the same for practice. Seeing how much you've been meditating and seeing that number go up each day can be quite rewarding. The goal of meditation is never to achieve a certain amount of time you've spent on the cushion or a certain amount of days in a row, but these little things can help to keep us motivated and connected to the practice. Another tip can be to surround yourself with people who also meditate. For me, I was fortunate to have a close friend in the early days of starting the practice, and we used to send each other screenshots of the end of a guided meditation on apps like Calm, Waking Up, etc., to prove to the other that we've sat today. It seems a bit silly that you're having to prove to someone else that you've meditated, because this should be a very personal journey that you'll want to do, but it does help. Also, by having someone else who's meditating, they're going through the same things that you are, and you can talk about these experiences with them. I've currently got Bodhi smelling and sniffing my phone on the tripod, so if it is waving, I apologize. I'm unsure of what he'll do next. Integrating the practice into your morning or nighttime rituals and routines can also be effective. For me, I meditate multiple times a day, and so in the morning I get up, come straight to my cushion before going on the phone, before I go for a surf in the mornings. And then at nighttime, it's always come home, and if I'm not teaching straight away, it'll have a shower, come from the shower, into formal meditation and sit then. It's before I'm doing any of the activities that I might be doing for the night, unless teaching, as I said, but it therefore means that I've got the rest of the night to just do exactly what I want to do outside of meditation. Following the meditation as well, I'm then present for those experiences. In the mornings, it means I'm present for the surf, and I find I'm a much better surfer when I'm calm and when I'm present to when I'm caught up in my own head. At nighttime, it means I can then watch something, hang out with people, cook dinner, do whatever, and again, be present there. And know that I don't have this cloud over my mind going, you need to meditate tonight, you need to meditate tonight. You've already done it. And a final and honestly most important tip can be to just enjoy the practice and enjoy the moments when it's hard, enjoy the moments when it's good. This is all part of the practice. And really have a positive tone to your practice. There's no such thing as a good or bad meditation. There is only the meditation itself. And so by being positive and having a good lens over the practice, it means you're never going to be judging yourself for how it goes or reviewing it at the end. It just was, and it means you can then finish the meditation and continue on with whatever you were doing. Hopefully some of these tips maybe helped you to build a consistent practice. If you have any other questions, just whack them down in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them and relate them to how I've developed my own practice. I hope you can bring a sense of peace and calm into the rest of your day, and I'll see you here for the next one. Thanks.